He's riding his bike into traffic right now. It's in the Star Wars language. Mark Rambo Weebs. My name is Cole. His name is Mike. His name is Jay. We like anime, and this is episode 115 of the Anime Protagonist podcast. And this week, 5. This week we're going to be reviewing the manga known as Go Go Loser Ranger, and we have a secret thing that we've been plotting for the second half. Which
the return of an old friend.
The return of an old friend?
Or maybe a foe.
Or maybe just an acquaintance.
Yeah. Find out in the second half.
Yeah. Find out in the second half.
That's called a tease in the biz, boys.
Listen, we're broadcasting live from Earth.
Inglewood?
Mm-hmm.
Live from Inglewood.
Live
NPR
from the studios of LA, California. It's Friday Night Live. It's Friday night.
Live from New York.
Oh, is it from New York?
Yeah, live from New York.
You've never watched SNL, Jay?
No.
Oh, we're gonna have to educate
God.
you, my boy. Get the chair and the duct tape.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
so here's the thing. When I first heard about SNL, the only thing I'd ever hear is it used to be good. So I was like, okay, well, I guess there's no real reason to watch it. Then I'll just watch old skits.
Yeah.
So that's all I did.
Yeah, no, it's as a certified 30-year-old, I used to have spent a lot of my time getting enjoyment from watching old SNL skits of Will Ferrell and all them.
I don't know. SNL suffers from the curse of being perpetually used to be good.
Yeah.
No matter what era you're in. People in the Will Ferrell era would be like, it used to be good when Chevy Chase was on. Then you're like, shut up.
I think
shut up, old man.
That's probably
it used to be good when Adam Sandler was on.
That's
go away.
At that point, it's probably just like nostalgia. People being like, oh, the back in my day.
I don't like the new
shake
humor.
Their fist at the cloud.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We got a manga to review, though.
Do we?
We do. We do have a manga to review.
We do.
Jay,
I even read it and everything.
You did?
I read the first volume of it, which was the assignment. Jay, you assigned this to us, did you not?
I did.
My sweet baby Jay.
I believe it's your duty to tell us what manga we're reviewing.
Yes, we are reviewing the hit. I can see manga Go Go Loser Ranger.
Oh, Jay has props.
I have props.
Come to props.
Come to YouTube to see his props.
That's a running bit. As he struggles to put it back, this makes for peak audio contact. Yeah. Silence and Jay struggling.
Check Jay has prop on your bingo card right now.
Yeah.
Right now, do it.
Right now.
Yeah.
I'm
really
actually curious if anyone gets
card.
a bingo by the end of the year.
Well, they need a card. We haven't even made the card yet.
Yeah, we need to make an official bingo card.
Well, everyone needs to have a different card, because if everyone has the same card, then everyone gets the same bingo.
Yeah, I'm sure that there's templates we can use.
Yeah.
There's probably bingo
you just
generators.
Shuffle them around, right?
Yeah.
Enter 25 things and 24 things, because there's always free space.
Yeah.
BINGO. Well, it'd be 25.
Yeah, but then the middle is the free middle's the free space.
Yeah, but 5 by 5 is 25.
Right, then minus 1.
Okay. Yeah, so we need 24 options.
Yes.
That's right.
The middle would just be Mario
still.
Crombo Weebs or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on, Cole. I'm the one with COVID. I got the brain fog over here.
Listen, how many times can one man get COVID?
Apparently 3 in this case.
Jay, tell us about this review.
Right.
No, I think we should keep going. This is great content.
This is good.
Yeah.
So what do you want me to do first? Talk about summarize the plot?
If you would, please.
Okay.
Yeah, summarize the plot in a
tell
quick,
us about it,
concise manner.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So it's basically a Sentai manga where every Sunday the Dragon Keepers or the Dragon Rangers or whatever they're called. The Power Rangers fight against
Power Rangers.
the evil monsters that are looking to take over the world.
The putties.
The putties. Yeah.
The putties?
But there's a twist And there's a twist in this one. So, unbeknownst to the public, the monsters or the putties have already been defeated. All of the all of the bosses of these monsters are already
the
long
big
dead,
bads, if you will. Yeah,
yeah. And
the Lord Z or whatever, and the Rita Repulsa. They've all been destroyed a long time ago. I think it was like 12 years ago as of the story beginning. And the only reason they still fight is because they made a deal with the Power Rangers to come every Sunday and put on a show for everyone, where the Power Rangers win.
Yeah,
and the monsters lose. However, at the beginning of the story, one of the putties, as Cole so lovely puts it.
Now that you've said that again, what the hell is a putty? Because I googled it and David Putty from Seinfeld came up.
The putties were the grunts on the Power Rangers,
in the original Power Rangers. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And they would run around going.
Yeah. They're not actually like putties, but they're like they're the grunts in
I like what they did with them. They're kind of cool. We'll get to that.
Yeah, they're called dusters. In the
So
manga.
one of them one day has had enough. He's had enough with this whole thing, and he's like, "Look,
can sympathize.
I'm done being defeated every week, thrown around like nothing." So he uses one of his powers, which they all apparently have this power to transform into a different form, whether it be like a monster or a human or something like that. Transforms into a human, infiltrates the Dragon Keepers organization to try and take them down from the inside.
They're kind of weird. They're incorporeal. Like they kind of turn into like smoke, and you can like cut them apart, and they just kind of reform.
They can't die.
They can't die, except they can, but only in certain situations.
Yeah.
So
that's basically some
pretty much it. There's a little bit more.
Basically
there's a little bit more, but like it's like it's more detail.
I mean, we'll dive into a little bit of the setup because there's some other characters and
parts
other motivations and
and
stuff.
And this is just the first volume, so you're not going to get heavy spoilers anyway. So it's
fair enough. Yeah, we're not going to get heavy spoilers until I tell you that in the end,
they all die.
They're all putties.
They're all putties. I like this setup. Like, I like the idea of like the whole idea behind it is like the good guys aren't
evil.
Really, they're not good, and they're like straight up portrayed as evil. Yeah, and spoilers. Like I read a little bit ahead, and they do some like heinous acts later on.
Yeah, they definitely seem. I can definitely see like they basically flipped the roles. Like it's the classic. The good guys are actually the bad guys.
Yeah. I wouldn't say the bad guys are good, but the bad guys are kind of like sympathetic.
Like the underdogs,
the bad guys.
Like you can relate and you can sympathize with them.
Yeah, the whole concept of them being, they're just kind of like fodder to make the good guys look good. Yeah, because the good guys have these weapons that can actually kill them. Yeah, Mike, you were gonna say something before I cut you off.
Oh, it's gone in the fog. I don't know.
It's gone. It's just gone.
Yeah. Like who would you guys say this is for? Like who would you say it's for a Power Ranger fan? That's probably where I would lead.
I'd probably lead there. I'd also say like if you're into like that like action series but with a twist. If you know what I mean, like something that has like a twist to it. Give this a shot. I think that like the premise really does. I think it does a pretty decent job of selling you on it if like that's what you're looking for.
Yeah.
It's super shonen-y, right? Like it's very like I almost get vibes of like My Hero Academia a little bit, even though they're completely different, obviously, but just like the spirit of it.
Maybe. Yeah. On like on a surface level, I would agree, but like I think that there's more to it, and I'm surprised. Like this is the same mangaka who did Quintessential Quintuplets.
Yeah, which it looks nice, which is one thing I'd like to say. Like the art is really good.
The art's really good, and like I'm surprised that like Quince was, we all like Quince here.
It's very different.
But it's very different.
Yeah. And I alluded to that when I recommended it. But like he has done two completely different stories, and they're both pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe we do have to review this, so maybe it's not good.
Maybe it's not.
Possibly.
Yeah. You guys sound pretty positive on it, though, I'd say.
Yeah.
Let's not pretend would we. Yeah.
I had a good time reading it.
Yeah.
I had a good time reading it.
Yeah.
I remember before we went for the review, Jay was like, just casually, he showed me one volume of it. He's like, "Have you read this?" I'm like,
did he say it like that?
Yeah. Have you read this Go Loser Ranger? I'm like, go away from me, you loser Ranger.
I feel like Jay's manga reviews are generally just kind of like Jay's way of like, "Hey Cole, I want you to read this." Is really what it boils down to.
Possibly. Yeah.
Sometimes it's just, I want you guys to read this. Depends on the audience.
But no, Jay's always good at like finding stuff Jay's very good at recommending stuff. Usually if you get a recommendation from Jay, it's probably good. And I think this was a fun read.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's the word I'd use mostly, is fun. Mm-hmm. It kind of like, you can kind of see where it's going to go. I would say like, maybe it changes pace later in it, but like as far as volume 1, you kind of knew what was going to happen for the most part. And I think it's not like, you're not looking into this for like a deep psychological story or anything like that, but it's just like good action romp. It's just good, clean fun.
It's good action, but also like not, I don't know. It's got like good comedy beats in it that aren't like action based. I was gonna bring that up too. Our main character, what's his letter again? D's nuts, is getting like his head blown off over and over again, and he keeps like trying to interject,
and he's like, "Stop!" and then he just
stop. And then he finally says, "Stop! I have a bunch of bombs. We'll both die."
Yeah,
and it's just it's good like set up and then payoff.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the good guy, one of the Rangers, is talking about how like, you guys can't be killed, so now it's time for you to see what it's like to die.
I will say though, the thing that interested me was in like chapter 1, there's like this line where one of them basically says like, if all of our leaders died, then shouldn't we be gone too? And like, I think that had a little bit of intrigue. Like, is what we see actually what's all going on, or is there something else going on that we don't know about?
Yeah, like in terms of the setup going on beneath this, more than meets the eye is a term I'd use here.
I do like the first volume certainly ends on a point where you're like, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't want to, I would say don't spoil this for yourself. This would probably be one where we should avoid like spoilers.
Big spoilers. Yeah.
Because it does end on a big note.
Yeah.
For the first volume, which is surprising.
You could just say that without really spoiling it, right?
I think it ends with like a good hook is the best way to put it. Like, there's a lot there to be like, oh, I want to know what happens next.
Yeah. I will say a big story beat that comes up that isn't really a spoiler, because I think it's like in the second chapter. Our main character D Snuts is infiltrating the Rangers. And he thinks he's got like the perfect disguise.
Yeah.
But then like these two side characters just instantly like, you're a bad guy, so you should stop that.
Yeah.
And then
which is one thing that like kind of weirded me out about that a little bit is like, how come these two side characters saw right through him, but like the big bad Red Ranger can't see through him? I'm like, that seems strange. You think he'd be like more capable than them, right?
Well, I think it could be like a he's up in his ivory tower. He's not paying attention to the peons at the bottom.
Yeah.
Which certainly strikes me as something that these Rangers would do.
It seems a little bit like they're a bit too arrogant to pay attention too much. Yeah.
Yeah. And they wouldn't. I think even if he knew it was a bad guy, he would just like not care, because they're so cannon fodder.
That's true. Yeah.
But the two characters who kind of spot his deception, both also want to help him. And that's kind of also a hook, is like,
Yeah.
why do they want to?
Yeah, I like that. I like that in a story where like you're kind of like working together with people in the organization to like pull off some kind of like heist or like take down the organization.
Yeah, definitely.
There's got to be an inside man, right? And there's a couple in this, and it's fun.
Yeah, there's got to be an inside man, you know.
Ocean's 11.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
George Clooney, Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Whoever else was in those movies, I don't remember. Who cares?
I don't know. It's been a while.
Yeah. Would you guys change anything though? Like, listen, we've kind of been gushing about it. Was there anything that didn't really tickle your jimmies?
I feel like Mike is a bit more down on this than the two of us are.
I don't think Mike's down on it, but I think you and I are definitely higher on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could be, but I think it's good. I wouldn't say I'm down on it anyway. I'm probably going to continue reading it. It's fun. And like you said, there's an anime coming out for this as well. So that's also a hook for me to get in as well, that I enjoy reading it and then watching the show so I can be like, I enjoy the way they adapted that.
I think this will be animated very well.
Yeah.
We could kind of talk about
the studio behind it, or?
Sorry?
Do you know the studio behind it?
I think it's Studio Yostar Productions.
Oh, perfect. I love them.
I've never heard of them. I'm sure Cole hasn't either. But no, I agree. I think it has the potential to be like kind of a sneaky hit. It's got enough comedy there to keep people hooked. Like an action with just action's kind of boring. It needs more.
Yeah.
And this has the more that you need going on. A little bit of espionage, a little bit of like dark underbelly. The bad guys or the good guys is kind of an interesting hook.
Yeah.
And this guy is like super weak is the other kind of interesting hook too.
Yeah.
So it's kind of him like overcoming his weakness to take on these like overpowered gods basically.
Yeah, he's kind of got to use his brain, but he's not like super smart either. He's kind of just
average. Just a guy really.
Yeah.
Which is like fitting because that's what he is. He's just a guy. Like he's
ultimately
expendable.
I think this show does a very good job of depicting the characters. And in a way that like makes sense.
Yeah. Like I'm still waiting for like more motivation from different characters, but we definitely get established D Snuts their motivation and everything. But I'm still waiting on motivation from some other characters.
How far ahead have you read, Cole?
Not that far ahead.
Not far.
I think I got up to like chapter, I don't know, probably the second volume, chapter 10 kind of thing. Yeah.
Around like I got up to around 75 and like you kind of get a little bit like you get a little bit of motivation.
It's a little ahead.
But okay, when I say that, I mean like I read the 75 chapters before I recommended the thing.
Yeah.
And then
now you're on like chapter 140.
750.
Yeah. We'll talk about that off air.
Okay.
But yeah, like, I mean, I think that there was like, you will get more motivation of these characters as the story goes on.
Yeah, I mean, I do want to just talk about the characters in general. I mean, we've got, listen, it's Cole time. We're going to talk about good potential. This could be potentially the season this comes out. Best girl of the season.
In the girl that approaches him at the beginning.
Yeah, she's
for sure. Isn't that like the only real female character?
Yes,
there is the Pink Ranger, but yeah,
who cares? But this one is she's definitely listen, y'all
like her
y'all
setup.
know
I like her vibe.
Y'all know my vibe type, and she's in there.
A bit of a badass. She's got that kind of dark energy kind of going for her. I definitely I knew when I was reading it, I'm like, oh, Cole's gonna like this waifu for sure.
I like her design too. It's Quincy.
Yeah.
And
I have a feeling Jay liked the design too, because he's a sucker for a girl in like a leotard. Like that superhero onesie, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, Jay loves a leotard.
Yeah.
Big
leotard guy.
Leotard.
I hope I'm using the right term there. I don't actually know what a leotard is.
Yeah, I think a leotard. That's
famously into tight outfits.
Yeah.
I'm picturing like, you know, like Stone Cold Steve Austin when he's like wearing like the big onesie with the strap over the one shoulder.
That's Andre the Giant.
That's who I'm picturing. Andre the Giant. Yeah. Oh yeah, Stone Cold is like a black t-shirt, isn't he? Clearly, I'm not a wrestling fan.
I don't know what his outfit was.
He had a black t-shirt and then he had like small trunks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, small little trunks.
Just tiny little trunks.
Just little baby ones.
Yeah. Remember how tiny the Rock's trunks were? It wasn't even trunks. It's like he was out there in his gitch.
Yeah. Run around his undies.
Jay, we're talking about wrestling. I thought you'd be more excited about this.
He doesn't want to reveal that he's into wrestling, apparently.
No. I wasn't that big into wrestling during the Attitude Era. I kind of got into it like in 2013. So like it's a bit before when I was a wrestling fan.
Okay.
But I feel like I'm not a wrestling fan, and like the memes and like just the culture of it is just like so great.
For sure. Yeah. For sure.
We're all big wrestling guys.
Wrestling.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, The Rock is a prominent guy in the wrestling industry right now. He's
just a prominent guy in general.
Yeah.
He's just a prominent guy. Listen, I'm gonna be real with you guys though. The Rock seems like the fakest person in the world.
Yeah, honestly though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
I hope
you enjoy our reviews of things.
Yeah, Go Loser Ranger is
Go
the
Loser
thing
Ranger
that I think we should be talking about. How did you feel about the action in this manga? Mike was talking a little bit about how like it's a fun action romp.
I wouldn't call it necessarily like action heavy. I like the action scenes because they're so different. You know, one side is so much stronger than the other. So I like seeing how things get resolved. In that sense, the action is good, but I am curious to see how it'll be animated. Like, I think, the bright colors and everything lends itself well to anime.
Yeah.
And
I think
the
Sentai
action
itself just lends itself to anime because it's a Japanese thing. And like, they know
action
what
works really well in anime in general. And like Super Sentai has its fans as well too, right? So people will be into it.
Oh yeah. Myself included. And also, I mean, like, you've got the mangaka from Quince. I mean, people love Quince.
And I think
I'm told.
I think that the thing that really interests me, Cole kind of mentioned this about how like one side is like so much stronger than the other. And so like it kind of ends up having to be like one character having to use their brain to solve like, how do we come out of this as a winner? Rather than
kind of anti One Punch Man.
Yeah.
Sorta. Yeah. That's a good way to put it.
We've got one character who's just overwhelmingly weak and has to figure out.
There's a point where like someone like squeezes or touches his face and his face like cracks. And it's like, that was just like a touch. Like he barely even touched you.
Like, he even says in like inner monologue, like, don't touch me. Our bodies are so much more fragile than yours.
Yeah. Our disguise is especially fragile as well. But yeah, I enjoyed this one. I thoroughly enjoyed this manga. I think I wouldn't like say it was an incredible manga, but it's a lot of fun. I think.
Sure.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah. I don't think it meets like Quince levels for me, but again, I'm only on like volume
I think
chapter
like
10.
I think like if it got more of a chance to kind of develop and flesh itself out, it could get there. But like as of right now, it's kind of like, this is fun. I'm interested.
I am definitely interested. In fact, my rating would be, I would consider continuing. In fact, like obviously, I am continuing. It's not quite up there. It's not tickling my jimmies quite yet, but I'm enjoying my time with it. What about you guys?
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. I'm curious to know, as you guys have both read the Quince, and I for some reason haven't yet. How do you think it like? I know I haven't read the Quince for some reason.
I thought you did.
I own it all, but I've never read it. What do you guys like? What do you think of the comparison between the two? I know you've said it's quite different, obviously, but like,
honestly, like if you didn't know they were from the same mangaka, to me, they're not comparable.
No.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
Like the character designs are like reminiscent, but I wouldn't say they're even that strongly resembling each other.
I can definitely see like similarities. Like D kind of looks like Futaro when he's in his human form. Like he has like that resemblance, but like the way that he's presented is such a different way from how anyone in Quince is presented that like it feels like a different style, even though like they kind of are the same.
Yeah, exactly.
But
and the Red Ranger kind of looks like the Quince dad. I think.
Yeah.
Now that I'm thinking about it, that might be my character comparison. But like the waifu in this doesn't really look like the Quince.
Yumiko?
She's a different vibe for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like her, like her eyes. Like they're just so dark and black.
They're cool. Yeah. They're just big black eyes.
Yeah.
Which I think, is a very cool design choice and makes her distinct from, I mean, because
she stands out for sure.
Because it's the Quince mangaka, you're going to compare them to the
quintuplets for sure.
Well, I think that's something you should do. Like, you compare the previous work, right?
But she's distinct enough that I think
I think like if you're less into Quince and more like I love shonen stuff, but like Quince interested me, give this a shot, because like it's the same author, so like like what kind of thought processes he has while writing, while also getting like that shonen action fun that you might want that you didn't get in Quince.
Yeah, I would say my recommendation would probably be One Punch Man. Like, they have a similar sense of humor, but kind of like flip the script on it.
I'd say more like Death Note meets One Punch Man, if that makes sense.
Maybe.
In terms of like, One Punch Man is a lot more. One Punch Man is a lot more comedic than this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm only
a lot
20
more
chapters
like,
in.
I won't say like entirely dark and psychological, but like it has more of that in it that One Punch Man doesn't.
Well, that was my recommendation.
I think at the end of the day, it's kind of like, it's an easy read for pretty much like 90% of people who read manga, I would say. And I think it's worth at least reading this to check it out if you're at all interested. If what we said here sounds interesting to you, I'd say you'd probably at least enjoy it. It's pretty unhateable.
At the same time, there's an anime coming out this year. You could also just wait for that.
You could just wait too. Yeah.
You could just wait. Or you could be like Mike and read it and then compare the two.
Yeah. I agree with you though, Cole. This one for me is not tickling the jimmies. Getting close though. It's a close to a Jimmy tickler, but in my heart, I'm going to consider continuing this one. I've been reading a lot of manga lately too, so it's a pretty good likelihood that I continue this one.
Yeah. It's
good
almost
recommendation
there.
Though, Jay.
I need a little more for my Jimmies to be tickled. It's going on my Jimmies.
Yeah. It's like a light breeze on them, but it's like doesn't quite tickle.
It's not ticklish.
Feels nice. Feels nice.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm
Jay, tell us about your Jimmies.
I feel like I'm a bit warmer on this than you guys are. It really
strikes me as something you would like because it's kind of more comic booky.
I'm really into it. I wouldn't say it's like my favorite thing ever, but like I'm very interested in seeing where it goes, and the mystery of it all just is really intriguing. I think that like it has a lot of potential to tickle my jimmies, but right now I think it's just I'll keep reading it.
Yeah. I don't want to come off like, I don't want what Jay to say as coming off that I didn't like, that I'm not high on it. Like, I am. I liked it. I don't know. I just wanted to defend my point. I don't want the last point to be like, I'm higher on it than you. That makes it look like we're not.
But we're all the same rating at the end of the day. But
at the end of the day,
I think we're on like the warmer side of that. Consider continuing. Like, I'm going to consider continuing in a good way. Like, this would be like a 7.5 if we went up to a 10. Yeah, it feels like a very like solid in my mind 7. Like just flat 7 in my mind. Yeah.
I mean, just to differentiate, I guess. Good manga. Check it out. Check
it out. Kodansha also has it if you want to buy the physicals, so you can.
Thank you. I was physical as well.
I was going to ask who's publishing it. It's obviously out on physical. You have it right behind you.
I do.
Yeah,
I don't know how many volumes are out right now.
I think in the States, does Kodansha have an app?
They do. Sure you can probably read it on K-Manga.
We can't get it here.
Yeah. Kodansha, by the way, I would love to promote K-Manga more, but you don't have it in Canada.
It's US only.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out how to get it, like, because I know how to like VPN and stuff like that. And I was trying to figure out how to like get it to work for me. And it's like very not friendly to Canadians.
Yeah.
It'll come. It'll come. Gross.
I wouldn't.
It's time for the mailbag.
I wouldn't be surprised if Go-Go Loser Ranger was simulpub, but anyway.
I can see that.
It's mailbag time. You guys are trying to distract from our lovely listeners and their mailbag questions.
I wasn't sure if we had a mailbag, to be honest with you.
No,
I'm getting ready to give my next manga review. Yeah. That's okay. I'll do it after. I'll do it after the mailbag.
Yeah.
Stay tuned, listeners.
I have a mailbag for Mike. If he can answer it at the end. Mike, what's your next manga review?
Yeah, if you can answer that at the end. Yeah. If you have any mailbag questions, you can submit them to us on our Discord or at our website, AniProPod.com/mailbag. We got a priority patron mailbag. Wee woo. This one's from Mog. Is that a patron?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Good job.
I'm second guessing myself.
Well done. Yes, it's a patron.
Yes.
What anime villain are you a henchman for? Like, if you were in that world, who would you find yourself supporting materially or just cheering on from the sidelines?
I feel like this is going to be like a brutal answer, and I'm going to be like, I hate myself for answering this. But definitely Griffith from Berserk. There's just a cult of personality among Griffith.
All right.
That you're just like, I just know I'd get sucked into it because like Griffith is awesome, but also a horrible deity being person. Horrible in many reasons. But like, that's probably like where my true answer is. I could see myself getting sucked into like the Band of the Hawk for sure. Kind of like Guts did.
Yeah, that's true. Our main character did get sucked into it too.
That's the whole point. Is he's so like charismatic and like he just draws people into him, even though he's not nice.
Not a nice guy.
I mean, it was weird. He was nice for a while, but then just got power hungry.
Yeah, then not nice. Yeah,
did some not nice things. Things.
I mean, some not nice things happened to him too. So I mean,
but they're a villain too at the end of the day. So. Suck it. That's my answer. What about you guys? What villain are you thirsting for out there?
Jay, do you got one?
I have two.
Okay.
In mind.
Go ahead with the one, and then I'll go. The
first one is Kira from Death Note.
Okay.
So my reasoning is like
you want to kill people.
Despite Kira being the main villain of the story, he is the protagonist. Like despite him being the protagonist, he's the villain.
Kind of an Eren Yeager, if you will.
Kinda. And like just from how popular Kira got, and the reason I use Kira and not Light is because like Kira's the one that everyone worshipped halfway through. Whereas I'm just now realizing Cole has not seen Death Note.
It's just like a weird gap in Cole's anime knowledge, but like, so I'm curious, like this one, because like, so would you be like a supporter of like Kira on the news? Because there's people who support Kira, and I'm
that's kind of where I'm going. Like I feel like if any villain were someone I'd support, he'd probably be the most likely. That's not to say like I probably would support him, but like I feel like he'd be the most likely.
Yeah, I could see that because he kind of, again, like a good villain has to be charismatic, I think, and they have to kind of like want you to side with, like, you could see why someone would side with them, and I could see why people would be like, oh, Kira, he's killing bad people, he's killing criminals and stuff, like he's doing a good thing.
Yeah,
he's killing it.
Yeah, and again, like I don't necessarily think that like I would, but more like out of any villain there. Aside from the other one that I thought of, I'd probably support him. The other one, probably Stain from My Hero Academia.
Okay.
Yeah.
My thought behind that was just like this idea of like true heroism, and like the idea of being a hero for money and for a job rather than being a hero because you actually want to save someone. And like I kind of understand that. I don't understand the method, but the ideology I think is at least a little interesting.
I think that's why Stain was. Go ahead, Mike.
Go ahead. No, you go.
No, please. I insist. You go.
I was just gonna say Stain's such like an interesting villain because like I feel like you're meant to side with him a little bit.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I think Stain honestly is probably like one of the best villains in modern anime. Like I'm talking within like the last couple years.
I can see that.
Because like he is like his message is very I don't want to say sympathetic, but like it makes
understandable
sense.
Yeah. I feel like a good villain too, like you kind of understand where they're coming from. And like from the same universe, I feel like Shigaraki's kind of a bad villain for the same reasons.
It's kind of,
I'm just going to throw that out there because it's kind of like you just want to destroy everything. Then what?
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Anyway.
It's less thought out.
Yeah, I think it's just
Stain
more comic book
villain
for Shigaraki than Stain, where he has a bit more depth.
Yeah. Mine, I don't know if this counts as a villain, but I'm going with Kaiba Corp because I mean, ultimately, like you just work in an office. You get to play card games all day.
Kind of seems like a sweet gig. Like, don't they have like jet skis and stuff?
Yeah,
I think we've talked about this before.
Seems pretty,
and also
pretty
like
sweet.
You might work at Kaiba Land, which is like a whole theme park.
Hey, I'm fine with being a suit at Kaiba Corp. Like, I'll go work in a cubicle over there, and
no, I'm into that. It's basically like going to work for like Enron or BP or something, right? You're just kind of working for this big like conglomerate.
Yeah, I'm sure he pays well.
Yeah.
It's a huge company, right?
Yeah.
Boring answer, but
no, I think that's again kind of like I said, like if I'm really picturing like where I would actually go, I could see myself doing that too, just being like just a suit for a bad corporation.
Yeah, I'm just headed on down to the office. Okay, now we do have a second mailbag question, and this one comes from Jay. Mike, you're my favorite podcast host. I love you. What is?
That sounds like Jay.
Oh, there's a heart emoji in there, by the way.
Yeah, and squee, etc.
Yeah.
Is it like a crying but like smiling face? Like he's crying, he's so happy and love.
Yeah.
He also says Suki des. What is your next manga review?
And then there's like that tongue out emoji with like the droplets,
and then like some pictures that are
we don't need to know. Yeah. We can save those for after the recording.
No,
I'll send those to you
for Mike. Those pics are just for Mike.
Oh, I'm sorry. I opened them. I'll send them. I'll forward them to Mike.
Okay. I mean, I have access to all of your emails anyway.
Well, yeah.
Well. Anyway, the next manga we shall review. I'm going to do something a little different here.
Okay.
Traditionally on the podcast, I've done like one shot manga and stuff like that, and kind of just went a little more like thoughtful, I guess. Maybe like covered more deep and like the thinking man's manga, if you will. And
wow, way to toot your own horn.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Well, Satsuki Fujimoto, stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Couldn't be more different this time. I'm going with something. It was the first manga I ever owned in my life.
Okay.
And for that, you guys are rewarded by having to read a 3-in-1 manga, 3 volumes.
Okay.
We are going to be reading a little treat, A Blast from the Past. I believe it's from 1999. It's available on the Shonen Jump app in its entirety. And it is, it features actually a villain that you said you would work for, Cole. It's Yu-Gi-Oh! The manga.
Wow, what a coincidence. This is this was unprompted. That was okay. Yu-Gi-Oh! The manga. Like, are we talking like Yu-Gi-Oh! Chapter 0 where it's like dark Yu-Gi-Oh! too?
Yeah, like the original Yu-Gi-Oh! I want you guys to read the thing that like I went into this like having watched Yu-Gi-Oh! On TV. And I was like, sweet, there's a Yu-Gi-Oh! Book as like a 10-year-old boy. And then I read it. I'm like, what is this? What is happening here? And it kind of probably changed something in me. So I'm curious to see what you guys think. I'm sure Jay has read it before, but yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! Let's read Yu-Gi-Oh! Guys.
Yeah,
it's time to duel.
I'm down for that. That sounds fun. So next manga review will be
Yu-Gi-Oh!
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 Feels anticlimactic to say Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Honestly, I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to talking about the difference between the manga and the anime. I think that's
stark. It's a stark difference.
Yeah. I'm excited to read it while listening to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Soundtrack.
Just
like
on
that
repeat,
CD.
I think. Doesn't your roommate Nugdeep have the CD from like the Duel Master CD?
I don't think he has it anymore. Because if he did, man, do I have a dual disc?
Yeah,
I wish.
Nugdeep did.
No, he didn't. His brother did.
Oh, his brother did. That's
because
right.
I was going to say,
brother.
are you going to read it while wearing your dual disc?
I'll read it off of my dual disc.
He's going to read it while wearing his like Seto Kaiba, this white coat that he always wears.
The Seto Kaiba cosplay?
Yeah.
No, that's just
good
for
cosplay.
Me. Yeah.
Would be a good
that
cosplay.
Would be a good cosplay. Mike, you should
Especially
do it.
for you, Cole, actually. I was going to say for you, because like you got like kind of the Kaiba hair going on.
Do I? What does
I'm more of
Kaiba's hair
a Joey
look like?
Wheeler guy or a Tristan.
Tristan.
By the way, they're not called that in the manga, so be ready for that.
No, I know. Even in the anime,
name.
that's what they're called.
Yeah, no. That's the 4Kids dub name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good for kids dub.
Joey Wheeler? I think
Joey
it is actually
Wheeler.
Joey.
The
in
fact,
manga, if I remember
the
right.
fact that they made Joey from Brooklyn, like his accent is so iconic.
It's perfect.
And like it's only something that we ever got. The Japanese audience don't even know that about Joey.
Yeah. It's a shame. It's
Yeah.
like Meowth's voice too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. That's another villain corp I could see myself working for.
Yeah,
Team Rocket.
Rocket. Yeah.
They seem fun. They don't seem like they really like care if you're good at your job or not. You kind of just are along for the ride.
That's true.
You do
Team
get blasted off
kinda-
a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do blast off a lot.
They do blast off a lot. That's a good one. That's a good pick.
Yeah.
I think we'll discuss it over this break.
My characters.
I do not have backups.
I'll be right back.
I don't
Yeah,
think
we
you guys
said-
are picking.
We said no dupes. I picked Misato for one of mine.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I
You
did.
wouldn't do that to me.
Distraction.
I'm like 95% certain Cole has already done the reintro to the podcast.
Incorrect.
Oh wow, he waited for me.
Well, I mean, I could edit this in. This could be the intro.
Yeah.
This could be the intro.
This
I
could
mean,
be
it probably
the intro.
already is. This probably
Yeah,
is
honestly,
the intro.
I wasn't thinking about it until you just said that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, welcome back, I guess.
Welcome back to the Anime Protagonist Podcast. I hope you
Welcome
enjoyed Cole's
back.
music this week.
Welcome back
did.
to the Anime Protagonist Podcast.
Oh, widowy?
It's Widowy, my favorite podcast.
This episode is sponsored by the Anime Protagonist Podcast Patreon. Become a patron today.
This podcast is
Yes.
brought to you by viewers like you. Thank you. I used to think, like, when I would watch PBS, I thought, like, it was like viewers like you. Like, that was like one word.
Mhm,
Viewers like
mhm.
you. And I'm like, what
Yeah,
is
viewers like you.
What is viewers like you? What does that mean?
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm gifted in other ways, so I promise.
It's a company name. Viewers like you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So what's new with you guys?
Are we just catching up, bros?
Listen, I'm a little short on cash. So
Okay.
I'm thinking, you guys, we could maybe
Can we like arrange some kind of like heist of a bank or something like that?
possibly. I mean, this is for entertainment purposes only. I do want to make this clear. We are not actually planning.
We don't
on
we
that.
don't condone this kind of thing.
Absolutely
You know what?
not.
To make it clear that we're not actually planning to rob a bank, why don't we like construct a team of anime only characters
Oh,
to like rob
anime
this bank for us?
characters. Oh, I put like actual people on my list.
Yeah.
Is it
you
just
guys-
say Mike and Jay? I'm curious which roles you'd assign which roles you'd assign us to.
All right,
in our-
I'm obviously the brains of this operation. Mike, you're the getaway driver. You're the
Me?
getaway driver. Well, it's not going to be Jay. You kidding me?
That's true. I've seen Jay fly a plane. It's not good.
Jay's the muscle. Obviously, he's
Yeah.
gonna be making sure everybody's keeping their head down.
I feel like I'd be tech guy.
Yeah, I feel like Mike would be tech guy.
Yeah.
Well, who's
that's kinda my
driving? What are
role.
we doing? Walking?
I put
Let me
you-
tell you.
Honestly, I'd put you as the driver. You're kind of fast and furious. Anyway, we have like we're gonna rob a bank with these fictional anime characters.
Yeah, fictionally.
Yeah, fictionally rob a bank.
None of this actually happened. We promise.
Or
Yeah.
will happen ever.
Yeah.
It better not, or else I'll smash you guys. But we came up with, we were like, so what do you need? What's like the minimum team to rob a bank? Because everyone's watched like a good heist movie, right? Like Ocean's
Mhm.
11, stuff like that. The one I always think of is, oh crap, it's set in like London. They all drive like little Mini Coopers around.
Yeah.
I forget what it's called. Anyway, but there's like these established roles that like go into a heist. Like, and we came up with Getaway Driver, the muscle, you know, like the guy that comes in and needs to enforce stuff when the stuff goes bad. Someone who's like a distraction to help the heist kind of like start off in a good way. The tech guy or tech person who's like the guy with the computer, you know, the person with the computer.
Guy in the chair.
That's right.
It's the Italian job.
The Italian job. That's what I was trying to think of. Thank you, Cole.
You're welcome.
And then lastly, you need your like charismatic, like organizer / leader. You're George Clooney in Ocean's 11, if you will.
Yeah. So we each picked 5 characters. I was just told there's no overlap allowed, so that's absolute bullshit. I do not have backups, so if you guys took
I have some
any
backups. I have some backups.
I came up with like 3 for each of them, so I'm in a good spot. Yeah.
I'll scramble.
Yeah,
I'll scramble.
Yeah. That's kind of where
at the end of this, if your other characters weren't chosen, I want to know what they were.
Okay. Yep.
At the end of this, but let's begin with me because I don't want you guys stealing my characters.
I knew he was going to do that.
Yeah.
Usually, once again, Cole's lack of preparation only pays off for him.
No. I prepared. I just didn't understand the assignment. I think this time.
Well,
this time I'm just dumb, not unprepared.
I think the overlap thing was kind of a last minute decision. We never actually like. We
I feel like nowadays that's kind of our unofficial rule we follow.
Yeah. I mean, you guys may have mentioned it in the Discord, but you know me.
You for sure didn't read it. It's okay.
Anyway, I was coming at this.
What are we starting with?
So I'm the builder of this team, right? I'm the George Clooney.
You like to put yourself in that role for sure. Yeah.
But I'm stupid. I'm dumb as a post. So I need somebody who's got big brain energy to come in.
Super big brain energy. Yeah.
Big brain energy. He's going to come in, or she is going to come in, and she's going to come in.
Gross.
And then she's going to put the team she's going to organize everything.
She loves it when a plan comes together.
Yeah. You need like that lead character who's like, they're the person who's on the movie poster. They're the person who's like the contact person who like goes to like the Caribbean and finds the tech guy at some beach or whatever, you know, you need that organizer person. And
I'm Charlie. I'm just a voice on the other end of the phone, you know, nobody's seen my face.
That's right.
My organizer is not a she. It's actually a he. And that is Wenli Yang from Legend of the Galactic Heroes, the reluctant leader. But he is a genius. He is straight up strategically a genius. Can go one-on-one with the other guy whose name I forget, the blonde guy. I just feel like he's got the brain power and he's got the laid back attitude. I feel like is necessary. I don't want anybody too high strung. He gets into high strung situations, but he can keep his cool.
They got to be a little cool is kind of the thing with this. They have to be a people person and like draw people to them. It's kind of part of his role for sure.
Yeah.
I think that's a great pick though. Cause like he's, like you said, he's a strategic genius and like, he's got that cool factor to him too, you know, like he's just kind of,
he's just laid back, you know. There's scenes of him like making big speeches to his whole fleet and he's just like sitting cross-legged on his desk. Like that's the spirit I want. Somebody who gets the job done, but like is chill, you know,
kind of chill, kind of lax, kind of like, approachable still
cool,
at the same time.
Cool, calm and collected.
Yeah. I really like that pick, Cole. Honestly.
Thank you. Thank you. Praise me more. Praise me more. Jay, do you have any praise for me?
Good pick. I have not seen Legend of the Galactic Heroes.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah. I know. We should watch it.
We should. I have the audiobooks. I need to listen to them.
It's one of those shows where every time I hear someone talk about it, they're like, it's so good, you need to watch it. And I'm like,
I think honestly, Jay, in terms of like sci-fi, I think you'd get a lot out of it because it is a lot of like mind games. I know that you like that, like two people kind of like, of course,
like a battle of wits.
Yeah, it's a vast like space opera, but it's also like just ultimately it's these two characters who kind of
basically kingdom in space.
Yeah, it's good.
I haven't seen. I don't know Kingdom, but I think, and the other thing too is like the thing with Galactic Heroes is people always tell you, oh, watch the original, but I feel like the new updated version is good enough. Like the remake's pretty good. The remake's good. It gets more hate than it deserves. In fact, I think it should be praised. Or read the books. Yeah, Jay, you're a book man. You know how to read.
That's probably the closest I'd get to getting into Legend of the Galactic Heroes is actually reading it.
Yeah, because I think but the thing is, they're not light novels. These are heavy novels. I'm pretty sure.
They're not big. I don't think I.
Oh, you own them? I didn't know that.
I have some of them. I have like volumes.
There's I think only 4.
No, there's like 12.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a lot. But I have like 3, 4, 5, 6 or something like that. I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway, enough about me and my awesome team. Mike, who is your organizer? Who's your leader?
Okay. I had a couple that I was going back and forth here. I didn't know exactly who I'd end up with, but I think the decision has been solidified in my head here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Miyuki Shirogane from Kaguya-sama as my leader / organizer. I think he's got that, like, he's maybe not as laid back as Wen Lee is, but I think he's got enough. He's smart enough. He's like one of the smartest guys in the school, right? And he's like hardworking enough that he is going to come up with a decent plan here and see it through. And like everybody likes him too, is the other thing. He's a likable dude. And I think he'd be a good person to bring the team together and execute a plan. And it, like, when you read further in the Kaguya-sama manga and like what's going to be animated in like the next little bit here, you can really see why I went with him. He's like, he kind of sort of pulls off a heist canonically in it. And he just kind of strikes me as a good, like, George Clooney type.
Yeah. I like the idea. Like, he is very smart, but he's a bit more disciplined than my guy is.
Yeah. And I mean, he also does have leadership history. He is the student council president.
Yeah,
so, I mean,
exactly.
Yeah.
I think that's what you're looking for, is like somebody who has proven leadership abilities and can be worked with.
They need to be able to, like, because the thing is with this heist, like, crap's inevitably going to hit the fan, right? And you need someone who can, like, think of a solution and, like, be calm enough or, like, at least present enough to, like, figure out how to get out of the mess that they're in.
To be president enough. Yeah.
To be president enough. Yeah.
Someone who can think of a solution.
Is that a pun?
No. I'm working my way there still. Because my leader is very good at thinking of a solution. Lelouch.
Continue. Okay.
You know what? Honestly, Lelouch was probably like, that's the obvious answer.
I know.
And I applaud you for taking the obvious answer.
You know, sometimes just take the layup. That's the obvious answer.
I thought of him and I was like, do I need to think of anyone else? I feel like this is obvious. And I was like, well, I'll just like think of a second one in case he's taken. And then but like, I think like he's it. Like, I mean, he's led like basically multiple operations of this kind. And like he has a good strategic mind. He does have a little bit of a history of like panicking and going nuts when things don't go his way, but like he still kind of pulls through.
Yeah, maybe a little hotter under the cover, but yeah, I think, and he's got that. Listen, if your team's in a position where they need a sacrifice, Lelouch is going to be there to throw himself on the sword.
No, that's a good pick. I like we said, that's kind of the chalk pick. Like, everybody knows Lelouch is like the great leader, the great planner. I do like it, Jay.
And I feel like we'd be remiss to not mention him.
Of course.
For sure.
Of course. Yeah. Do you guys want to do like the backups right now, or do you want to round them all up at the end?
Yeah, we might as well. We can discuss them.
Yeah. I did have one who I was thinking about, and I decided not to go with them because you guys would have been like, Cole, shut up. Shut your mouth. I was honestly this close to going with Holo, because Holo is the wise wolf. She's very smart. Yeah. She's very good at like planning things out. But in the end, I just felt like Wen Lee.
I think Wen Lee's a better pick.
Yeah, I think so too.
But I see what you're doing with that for sure.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah. I'm drinking your sake, Kimasabe. I almost went with two others. I almost went with Senku Ishigami, Dr. Stone, like the main character there. For kind of, I feel like it's a little too obvious with him. And
I feel like he's not really a planner so much as he is like just a smart dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of accurate. He kind of just like comes up with solutions in the fly. I bet you if we expanded our teams, he'd find a way onto my team.
He'd be like a second guy. He'd be like the
like second in command or something.
Yeah. And the other one was Shikamaru from Naruto. Yeah, because he's kind of like, it's basically, this is what he does. But I kind of didn't go with him because he's kind of a little too like chalky. I wanted to do a little more spicy, but yeah,
we want spice.
Yeah. Jay, did you have any backups?
I had one, and that was Ainz Ul Gaon, who's like,
I thought about him too.
Yeah, also a proven leader. They're very, very smart and capable. It feels like he has like a method to handle with any situation. Probably a bit more level-headed than Lelouch, but I kind of picked Lelouch because he has that experience proven.
I feel like Ainz too, he gets a lot of like, and you can't apologize for having a good team behind you. But Ainz also relies a lot on his team.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
So I feel like Lelouch was a better pick, I think. Yeah.
He's a little more leader-y, I guess.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. At the same time, like Ainz kind of like, he'll have those like, oh, I made this like super smart idea, and then he was just like, I just thought of that off the fly. I didn't like, you kind of, you know, whereas Lelouch, like it kind of feels like more when he comes up with smart ideas, he intended to do that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I'm honestly surprised you didn't go with Sid Kagano here, to be honest with you. That's what I thought for sure was going to happen.
I feel like I was going for more of like a this actually makes sense thing rather than like
yeah. He's kind of a bit of a doofus at the end of the day.
Ayakoji. That's kind of
that was the other one. But he's
I thought of Ayakoji, but like I feel like again, I don't think he would make sense as a heist leader, and at the same time, like it just doesn't fit.
Yeah.
It's
a good way to put
like
it.
his character doesn't really fit that vibe.
Yeah. All right. So on this team, obviously, we're going to need somebody to kind of like run point, you know, be the distraction. You know, look over here. Look at me.
Yeah.
Look at me.
Like,
now, I don't know
go
what
in and they distract the security, like when
so I feel like
about to kick off.
I feel like we had different ideas for the distraction here.
Possibly. Yeah. I don't know about you guys, but I went with, I was thinking like a femme fatale type, you know?
I feel like that's the standard trope here is you send in like your busty femme fatale and she like distracts a security guard.
Now, I went with somebody who actually has, you know, a supernatural ability to be kind of distracting.
Okay.
Everybody loves her. Everybody loves her because she has an ability that makes everybody love her. And I went with C2 from Code Geass.
Oh, good pick.
Her Geass makes everybody love her.
Now, I'm curious with this one. How did you? I kind of want us to explain how we envisioned their distraction working, like what they did.
Literally walked in and everybody's like,
who's this green-haired girl eating pizza?
Got everybody off guard, and then the whole team can kind of come rushing in, you know? It's a bank heist. I'm not too concerned about like, hey boys, to the security guys, because like they're gonna be coming in and we're gonna be making noise. So I want the distraction initially to kind of get everybody off their balance, and then that allows me my team to come in.
Yours is more of like an explosive heist. I was picturing mine as more of like a stealth operation.
Okay.
It's interesting that we went different routes on this.
I'm backing school buses in, you know. I'm taking my joke.
Like the Joker.
I'm taking my clown mask off, and underneath clown paint because I'm a clown.
You okay? It fits.
Yeah.
It fits. Yeah.
It fits me.
Fit. Yeah.
But yeah, I went with C2.
C2 is a good choice.
I feel like you know, femme fatale type. She's good at being kind of that second in command as well. Like she's if something happens to my main guy, then I can count on C2 to kind of be the backup brains too. So
I think part of this too is you need someone who's simultaneously capable, but also able to like kind of capture people's attention, right? Like they kind of also, they have to, once the distraction's done and they're like just in full on heist mode, they need to be able to actually still do some stuff. And C2 is very capable, right?
Oh yeah. She has the ability to do stuff as well. I wasn't thinking of that, but yeah, you're right. Yeah.
They got to be kind of like an all-purpose talent, right?
Yeah. I was thinking more from like the brain side of things, but you're right. Also in a
combat capability
side.
An all-rounder, right?
Yeah.
Let's switch it up.
I've got really good picks.
Yeah,
I've got good picks. Mike, what about your second pick?
I was going to say I'll let Jay go first, so I'm not always making Jay have to scramble if I take one of his.
No, you didn't take one of mine last time.
Okay.
Mike?
Well, then I'm going to go with Another femme fatale, if you will. Mine's a little more conniving, though, and I feel like they would really fit the role of the distraction because they're both simultaneously pretty, kind of evil a little bit, and also like a goddess, depending on who you ask in our Discord. I went with Mommy Nanami from Rent a Girlfriend.
Okay.
Shout out to Zero's producer.
Yeah, well, he's losing his mind right now.
I know.
He's also like, oh, what a good distraction! I'm distracted already.
He's riding his bike into traffic right now.
Just straight into traffic. But no, this is not just a meme pip. I genuinely think that she would actually fulfill this role pretty well. She's smart. She's kind of devious, right? Like she's able to like trick people, and she's like attractive enough that she's going to do the classic, like go in and distract the security guards so they're not paying attention to the security cameras and stuff like that. I kind of see that being her role, and I think she'd do quite well. And she's like kind of athletic too, you know, like I think she would be able to just people smashing dishes.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a Greek wedding going on out in the kitchen.
I just heard so much explosions, like someone's robbing your house.
Whatever.
Mommy Nanami. I like it a little bit. It's a weird pick, I would say. It's off the beaten path, but I'm curious to see what you guys think of it.
I like it. I'm a little worried about her. Like once her distraction's done, what is she going to be doing then? So I'm a little worried about her follow up, but if her job is strictly to sit there and be like, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. Yeah. I feel like she'd probably be good at that.
I tried to go with my team.
I'm a little worried.
My team is more like real, just people. I try to go like less super powered, I would say.
Yeah. Jay, what do you think of that? What do you think of Mommy? Are you a big fan of her?
I appreciate the thought that went into it. I think that it's a really interesting idea. I just think like if for whatever reason they were to get into like a firefight or something, like if the cops showed up and they needed to get their hands dirty, if she'd be
things went squirrely a little bit. That's a fair thing to bring up for sure.
Yeah. Now Jay, what's your pick? Let us critique you.
So I took a very different route with this because I wasn't really thinking of getting in. I was thinking of getting out and the pursuit afterward.
Okay.
I was looking at how can I get as many police officers off me as I possibly can. And when Lelouch saw this particular character's application, he looked at all of his strengths, looked at all of his abilities, and thought that he was a pretty strong individual who could hold his own. And that's very valuable on a team like this. But then he noticed another trait, a trait that maybe some people wouldn't find useful, except for this one situation. And that character is Roronoa Zoro.
Oh.
Now, here is my plan.
You're going to have to explain this one a bit to me.
Here is my plan. We are going to give Zoro the most sketchy outfit we can possibly find, and instead of arriving in the same vehicle, we're going to tell him to meet us there. Now, if you know about Zoro, he is a very, very terrible navigator. He's terrible.
Yes, even I know that.
He is terrible at finding where he needs to go. So Zoro's going to get lost. He's going to get as far away from the bank as he possibly can in the most sketchy outfit. And I mean, a ton of people are going to be seeing this and be like, this guy's so sketchy. And they start calling the cops.
I feel like he's the guy who, like, when they all leave the bank, he is in the car with like the empty suitcases. And then when the cops get him, he's like, what's going on?
Well, he's not even at the bank. He's as far away from the bank as possible.
Oh, so he's never at the bank to begin with?
He's never at the bank to begin with. He's just getting all the cops as far away from the bank as they can because people are calling the cops. He's fighting them off.
Oh, he's like a completely outside distraction.
He's completely outside.
He's seeing cops. He's
smashing.
Yeah. Here's where I thought you were going with it. He's with you. He's with you during the heist.
Yeah.
And then, like Mike said, he's basically got empty suitcases, and you're like, all right, you go in that car. We'll meet up here.
Okay.
Then,
yeah.
You know, then
he's kind of a fall guy.
Yeah.
He's not going he's going to end up he's gonna end up in Vegas or something.
No. He's not even going to the bank. He's just like there to keep the cops as far away from them as possible.
So he's causing a scene somewhere nearby.
He's causing a scene somewhere else.
Here's my amendment to your plan. Instead of relying on people to call the cops on him.
Oh, we just
called the cops on him.
Yeah,
you're like,
I agree too.
There's this weird. Again, he's still your fall guy.
Yeah. And he's strong, so he'd be able to handle the cops anyway.
He's strong. Did you remember that scene where he took all of Luffy's pain?
You know that scene where he took down a mountain of a guy? Like a guy that was literally a mountain?
He was widowy a mountain.
He was widowy a mountain, and he took him down.
Yeah.
Funny laugh on that guy.
So, yeah.
Zoro. No, honestly, that's an out of left field pick, and I'm here for it. I like that we went completely different routes with our heists.
Yeah. Now, do you guys have backups for the distraction noodle?
No.
I did.
Okay, Mike did.
I also thought of going with Chika Fujiwara.
I thought about her too. Yeah.
Because I feel like she's the perfect mix of like cunning and also a little devious, and like she would just somehow cause a scene. You know what I mean? She'd go in there and just cause chaos. That's what she does. She is chaos incarnate.
The problem with Chika is her poker face is terrible. So if you're if you're planning on her being like the distraction, and she's like, don't look over there, she'd be like, her towel would be like insane. They'd be like,
that's true.
Something's going on. Oh, they're robbing the bank. So that's kind of why I didn't, because my idea was my distraction would kind of be my backup leader as well. So Chika, I thought about her. She's smart and capable, but she can kind of fumble the ball a little bit sometimes, I think.
Yeah, she's, like I said, she's chaos. So with chaos comes both ends of the spectrum of possibilities for sure.
Yeah. So actually, I guess she'd be my backup there too, because I had thought of her for this position. Now, tech support, the Michael position. You're calling your IT department. Yeah, the guy with the laptop. And you're like, well, something's going on. They're like, have you tried unplugging it and plugging it back in?
I picture it as like the guy who, like, when you're getting it, like, everyone gets to the vault. He's the guy who's like on the walkie-talkie, and they're like, "Okay, shut down the vault security now."
Yeah,
he's like, "Okay, 3, 2, 1."
I'm running into. There's a
firewall. I'm hacking into the mainframe.
There's a firewall. That's crazy.
You got to hold out for 2 more minutes. I need to get through this security. And it's
gotta see through the matrix. Tech people. I went with Neo, obviously. No. I went with one out of left field. Okay. I guarantee neither of you have picked this one. Okay. I went with Itaru Hashida from Steins Gate Zero. Or just
Steins Gate Zero.
Just Steins Gate. Sorry. Just Steins Gate. Steins Gate. The OG Steins Gate. That's that's
a good pick.
Computer guy.
The bigger dude.
Yeah, that is a good pick.
Yeah. That's a good pick.
He's kind of a techie guy.
Daru.
Yeah, Daru. Yeah, he's got to put up with.
I had a feeling
Okabe.
Steins Gate was going to make an appearance in here, but I thought Okabe would make an appearance under Organizer, maybe. But
well, I thought about him too. Yeah,
I also thought about Okabe.
Yeah, I mean, this guy is capable of, on a team, constructing a time machine. So
yeah, I mean,
I'm here for his tech abilities. And you know, he does some hacking, he does some fun stuff.
He's a good guy with the laptop, I feel. Yeah, like he's not necessarily, I wouldn't want him in there. I don't think he'd maybe hold up in there, but yeah, as the guy on the walkie-talkie with the laptop, sure.
He's the guy when we're getting out and we're all where's Daru, and he's just like running up behind, you know.
Maybe he takes a bullet, and like as you're driving away, he's like bleeding out a little bit. That's the drama as you're leaving, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of like in Point Break.
Yeah, Point Break, great movie. Remember that scene where he punts a dog?
Remember that point?
No.
Go watch Point Break. He punts a dog.
Do you remember that point in the movie?
Oh yes, you're right. Yeah,
that one point.
I do remember the scene where he like sprains his ankle and he shoots his gun into the air, all dramatic.
Yeah, remember that scene where he says, "I'm an FBI agent."
Remember that one point
where it breaks?
The point where you break.
Jay's been dying to tell that
joke.
That's literally a line in the remake.
Is it?
The remake
it's like
exist.
No. He's like something when you reach the point, and then they look at him and they're like, the point when you break.
Boo.
No. It's literally a line in the movie.
Boo this man.
It's literally a line in the movie. Look it up.
Yeah, that's lame. That's lazy story writing.
That's classic.
Oh, he said the thing. He said the thing.
He said it. He said the thing. Yeah, Mike, who's your techie?
Okay, I went also kind of left field here, but hear me out a little bit.
All right, I'm here.
I went with someone who is canonically in the story very good with computers. They're like a programmer. I went with Kobayashi from Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid as my tech guy on the outside.
Okay, all right.
Weird pick, but hear me out. They are
just to be clear. To be clear, you mean Kobayashi, not Toru.
Yes, to be clear, because we mixed this up before. Yes, I mean
Kaisen,
Kobayashi.
Right?
Yes.
No. Kobayashi, the titular character of Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. The Dragon Maid is Toru.
Not Kobayashi. I always thought the show was called Kobayashi is the Dragon Maid. I thought that's what's the name of the show.
Yeah.
Like Kobayashi's the Dragon Maid.
Kobayashi's the Dragon Maid.
Yeah.
I think Kobayashi though would be a good person on the outside. She'd probably also have the help of her like coworker there that like is also works for the same company, and they're both kind of like, I'm pretty sure they work for like a software development company or something.
Yeah, I don't know exactly. I don't know. It's a general Japanese office that they work for. They're selling something.
It seems like they're semi-techie though. Like it seems like she's probably a programmer. And I feel like she's just like the right mix of like techie. She's like calm, cool, collect. She's like having no problems dealing with like the mainframes and the security systems and stuff. It just seems like the role fits Kobayashi a little bit.
Yeah, I like that one. Also, a big sell for her, glasses.
Yeah, glasses for this role is kind of a plus for sure. Yeah.
Where the glasses flash. I'm in. I can see.
I can see it.
Like it's like she's all in shadow, and you just see like the flash of the glasses.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah. So dramatic, Mike. That's you got extra points for drama for that.
I like it. No, you need some. The thing is, this is a heist. It's going to be dramatic. You need drama there. And yes, Kobayashi.
My team's just too good. Like you're in and out. Already in. Yeah.
Well, you're going the opposite end with drama. You're going for like, instead of tension and suspense, you're going for like pure raw action. I think.
I don't know what I'm going for.
Yeah. What's Jay going for?
So my tech support is someone who is known to be tech support for someone else.
Okay.
But the person that they are tech support for might come up a little short sometimes. Might not be too happy with that. Because she's the tech support for the Full Metal Alchemist. I'm talking about Winry Rockbell.
Okay. Here's my concern with Winry Rockbell. Has she ever seen a computer in her life?
I don't know, but she makes automail.
I trust that she's smart enough to learn it.
Yeah.
I had a character I wanted to go with for the tech support, but I chose not to because I was scared that Cole would bring up this exact argument where it's like, would they even know how to operate a computer? But I'll give Winry the benefit of the doubt. In this world, Winry can operate a computer, and I feel like
I'm thinking more of like the person that's able to like operate and create and manufacture the machinery that they need to complete the tasks.
Okay, she's manually breaking into the vault. She's got the stethoscope, listening to the turner.
She probably made like cool gadgets for everyone to use, which is a way I considered going with this too, as like the gadget maker.
I also liked your short pun, Jay. That was That was very nice.
Thank you.
That didn't go unnoticed. Yeah.
Thank you. And also like, I mean, you guys both have Goyles in your team, and I wanted to have a pretty badass Goyle on my team.
Yeah. I mean, yep. Very badass.
You need a girl.
Goyle.
You need a girl on the team, Sell the tickets to the girls as well, It's important. Now, this one's also selling tickets to the girls. This one's the muscle of the team. Oh, no, wait. I'm sorry. I'm jumping the gun. Do you guys have backups for this role?
I did have a backup, but it was more of like a, like they kind of fulfilled the same role, but they kind of have more of a history of, making more extravagant things. And that's Gengai from Gintama. And I mean, he literally made a reality altering robot.
Widowy.
So like, I mean, he's very good at engineering, but I think that the problem with him is he's very notorious for not telling people how things work until like the last minute.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You kind of need to know how things work so that if something
kind of
happens.
important. Yeah. Similar to like where Jay went with Winry, I thought about going with like a more gadget based tech guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to go with Bulma from Dragon Ball.
I thought about Bulma too. She would be good.
She would be good at this,
legitimately a good techie.
Because she is kind of techie, but she would also give them like cool gadgets to use.
I mean, she's a genius.
She's kind of an all-rounder here.
She's a canonical genius. I thought about her. The other one I thought about, which came up previously in our conversation, was Okabe from Steins Gate. But he's a wild card. Like I figured, I can't go with him because he's
also just like imagine like being on the other end with him and you just suddenly hear like El Sai Kongru and you're like, what?
I thought about him also as like
midway through.
I thought about him also as a distraction because you could just be like, go. And
actually,
people would be like, "What's this guy?"
That's actually probably his.
Who's this nutto?
I feel like the obvious place you'd put Okabe is like the organizer, but his real fit actually is the distraction. You're right.
Yeah. I would tell him, "You're the organizer," and then I'd pull everybody else aside.
Think that he's the organizer.
I'd pull everybody else aside and be like, "Here's the real plan. You let this guy just do whatever."
He's gonna go in and just be chaos. The one I thought about for like as another one that I was scared of because they don't know how to use a computer is Armin Erlat from Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
Again, genius type character, very strategic. I feel like if you sat him down with a computer for a while, like if he was actually in this world, I feel like he'd be a techie type person.
Yeah. He'd be a good leader too.
Yeah, I thought about him there too.
I also thought about Irvin for leader too. I forgot to mention that.
That would actually be a good one too. Because the reason I didn't consider Armin for leader really was because he's not super charismatic. Like he's not the cool leader type.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's
passionate. He's good.
Like sidekick kind of.
Yeah.
Irwin, I thought about, but then in the end I was like, no, he's just gonna like lead them like into like some blaze of glory, like death.
This heist is not having a happy ending with Irwin.
Yeah, they'd be driving off a cliff, probably. Anyway, muscle. Yeah, muscle time. Okay, so this is the person who's gonna kind of keep crowd control. Everybody get down.
When shit goes bad with this one, they're the person who's gonna like.
Mm-hmm. So I wanted somebody big. Big, and your brain goes big dumb guy, duh.
Mm-hmm.
But I went with somebody big who's not dumb, and he's good with guns. I went with Bato from Ghost in the Shell. And if Cody Bot ever listens to this, he's gonna be super excited because he always asks after we record every episode. He's like, "Did you guys talk about Bato?" And now I can finally tell him we did talk about Bato.
We did talk about Bato.
Bato is kind of the second in command of the unit in Ghost in the Shell. He's a big guy. He knows hand-to-hand combat. He's also very good with guns, and he's not dumb. Mm-hmm. He's a smart guy too.
Yep.
So I feel like he's very capable. He can kind of be our weapons specialist. He can make sure everybody stays down. I feel he's got military training, obviously. Mm-hmm. It's kind of the ideal guy I would want in this situation. I'm very happy with this pick.
I like the pick too. The one thing that's led me away from the big giant man trope here is because like you want the muscle. For my vision, they're going to be in the bank when stuff starts happening.
Yeah.
And I don't want them to be too noticeable. I want them to be a little more incognito. Whereas I feel like if Bato strolls into the bank, everyone's kind of like, what is this guy robbing us right now? What's happening?
Yeah. But I think that's probably the difference in
different in strategy. You're backing the bus in. Yeah, you're blazing. Yeah.
Everybody get down. This is a heist. Stick them up. That's what they're exactly. Say.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So in my situation, Bato is going to be he's going to be able to control the proletariat very well.
Mm-hmm. Similar vibe that I almost went with was Main from Cyberpunk Edge Runners.
Yeah, I thought about
similar
him too.
vibe, kind of the same character. I was kind of thinking of
David Martinez.
I thought about David too, like when he's big.
Yeah. Like second half Second half David, yeah.
When he big boy, yeah.
Yeah.
He'd also be good with the speed, the fast. But I went with Bato. He's also half machine. He's got robot eyes.
Half man, half machine.
Yeah, just with robot eyes. Yeah.
The one I actually went with, and I feel like this is kind of a sneaky good. I'm going to praise my own tire. I'm going to pump my own tires here a little bit. I think this is a good pick. I like it. I went with Your Forger because Yor is blending in. Yeah. Yor is incredibly capable, but no one's going to be like, oh, that person's going to kick my butt right away. But she will.
Yeah.
And she's the only thing that kind of kept me concerned is that she's not necessarily known for using like firearms and stuff. But I'm sure she would be capable enough to be able to pull that off.
I like that pick, Mike. But if I can suggest, you should have put her as the femme fatale.
I thought about it. Yeah. She was kind of in between. I didn't know where to put her exactly. And I thought about going to the big burly dude as well. And then I just kind of thought, no, you know what? I kind of like Your Forger in this role.
I like her there. Yeah. She's unassuming. Yeah. So if stuff happens, then she can just like quickly dispose of people.
Yeah, a little more stealthy my operation too.
Yeah, I like that pick. Good pick.
Thank you. Yeah.
Jay?
I went with kind of like that things are getting dire, we need to call this guy in kind of approach.
Okay.
So like he's not actually coming into the bank, he's kind of waiting in the car. But like if we need him, he's going to come crashing through the ceiling.
Okay.
It's Batman. And tearing people up. And that is Nomu from My Hero Academia.
Oh, okay.
So like I just have a Nomu.
Just a Nomu.
Just a general Nomu.
Yeah.
Just your general Nomu.
Has like basically technically any ability I need, but like I was thinking of like the one that fought All Might at the end of season 1.
I feel like that is when you say Nomu, that's the one I think of too.
Yeah.
I like this one too, because you can just like release him and then you can just run out.
Yeah. That's kind of what I was thinking. Like if things are getting hairy, we just like release him into the bank and we're gone. You know,
you kind of don't need to. He's kind of all of Jay's people are expendable. Apparently, I'm learning things about Jay here.
There's gonna be like one person left. Jay's
the type who like kind of like at the end of the day, everybody else is gone and he's just holding the bag of cash.
Yeah,
laughing in Bermuda.
I like your leader though for that too. Like Lelouch seems like the kind who doesn't mind just
he plays chess and he doesn't mind making the sacrifice.
Sometimes you gotta sacrifice a pawn. Yeah,
sometimes you gotta.
Yeah, no, I like Jay's team so far for that. Yeah. It's very unconventional.
Yeah.
I like Mike's team for kind movie, of the stealth. And I like my team because it's the best team. But there is one final position.
And this is the most important position a little bit.
That is the Getaway Driver.
Yeah.
We're talking Ryan Reynolds. You know? Is that? No, Ryan Gosling, sorry.
We're talking like Baby from Baby Driver.
Yes.
Yeah, we're talking we're talking about people who have cars. And
you know what? This one was a tricky one for me because there's not many anime characters that are like
I have like one
drive,
and I know that one of you are going to take it.
I thought of a few good ones. I'll let you go first then, Jay, if you're worried about me picking it.
No. That'll be the funny part if one of you takes it.
Listen, okay. I didn't have a tough time thinking of this one. It came to me immediately. We're running out of the bank, and we see the car down the stairs.
Is it a convertible?
No, it's not a convertible. It's a sports car. You know, it's a blue sports car.
Okay.
Everybody's piling in.
Yeah.
You know, it's a nice car. It's fast,
It's a nice car that's fast, yeah.
It's fast. It's able to withstand large blasts from bombs. We're jumping in. Who's
behind the wheel?
Oh, there's a pretty lady behind the wheel, and that is
Mommy Misato. Misato.
Of course.
What a surprise.
We could not do a team building.
I can't believe we have Mommy Misato on Cole's team.
We need to.
You know what? To be honest with you, I got kind of lost in the sauce a little bit here while we were recording, and I forgot that Misato had to make an appearance on Cole's team. So
she had to. Misato also could have been my distraction, but I just felt like, you know,
I thought about putting her as my driver too, just because like canonically she can drive and drive well, and she's got that cool car.
She's got that cool car. She can drive. Yeah. She can drive well. I mean, she doesn't drive a lot in the series, but you know, like Misato is a military woman.
Yep.
She's a capable woman. And she's going to get us from point A to point B. She's going to do it fast. Nothing's going to stop her because her car's apparently just a fucking tank.
Bulletproof. Yep.
And that's Misato. I felt like was maybe an odd choice, maybe my weak point on my team, but I had to.
I don't even think so. I think she's capable as a driver, honestly, in this case. I think she'll do good. She's not the best choice for sure, but I think she's capable. I don't think she's holding you back.
Listen, I could have gone with somebody from Initial D, but I've never seen Initial D.
That's, you know what, I wanted to go with Takumi from Initial D, and I was like, I can't in good faith because I haven't seen it either.
Yeah.
He does make an appearance in what's the thing I just watched that came out this last season? Anyway, never mind.
The show, the sequel,
the reboot one.
Yeah, the one show. I know what show you're talking about. I just forget the name.
Yeah, I can't remember the name right now.
MF okay. Ghost.
Yes, MF Ghost. Yeah.
MF Ghost.
Yeah. But yeah, Misato had to make an appearance. Misato had to make an appearance. I had to have her here.
Yep.
And
I'm glad you went with Misato because I was a little worried you were going to steal my Getaway Driver to round out my team of mostly. I have a few blondes on my team. I'm going to add one more here. I'm going to go with a guy. He's got a few names, different names going around. Okay. But the one most know him as is Char Aznable.
Oh, baby. Let's go. Yeah.
Right? Isn't this
Quattro
a good pick?
Vagina's pulling up.
Yeah.
Quattro Vagina. What's his actual birth name too?
Cosval.
Cosval Rem Daikun. That's right.
Yeah.
But he's canonically the fastest person.
Yeah.
He's
the Red Comet.
Super fast. Comet. Yeah, he's a Red Comet. He's driving a sweet little car. Sorry, my headphones disconnected there for a sec.
No worries. Are we good?
Yep.
Can you hear me? Okay. No, I love that pick. I mean, everybody knows I love Char. A great pick. Great pick, Mike.
Thank you. I'm glad you appreciate it.
Yeah. Jay.
So my pick, here's how I picture it. Everyone who is robbing the bank is running out. And they are running toward a taxi. My pick is Otakawa from Odd Taxi.
Okay.
He kind of has that history of being roped into these backdoor things, these crime criminal activities, and I think that that's kind of the thing that what happened to him here. He kind of gets roped into it.
He was my backup pick, actually.
Sorry, Jay got distracted from an old friend making an appearance out of nowhere.
I did.
I'm sorry.
I more so got distracted by Cole reacting to the old friend making an appearance.
He's so excited.
I'm whoa! What is going on?
Mike pulled out his old headphones that he's been that have been absent from the podcast.
I know they disappeared for a little while, but I got my I ordered the new transmitter in, so they're back in action, baby. And my Bluetooth headphones ran out of battery because we recorded without a break in the middle. Usually I charge them through the break a little bit.
We had a little bit of a break. Yeah, no, anyway, sorry, Jay, I don't mean to distract from here.
I actually, Otakawa is my I had Char as my 1A and Otakawa was my 1B. I was just he canonically fits this role perfectly.
Yeah, and that's kind of the thing I thought of going in, who would kind of make sense, as someone who would kind of fit in these roles.
Yeah.
And then while you guys were talking, I thought of Speed Racer. Just because
nice, just because they're fast. Speed Racer.
It's just I thought of that one scene where he's going
when I think of Speed Racer, I'm
the cliff.
Yeah, I'm gonna drive right off the cliff.
No, is he the guy from the meme where it's stop crying, we got a lot of work to do, and it's not gonna help? Or what's that meme? I forget what it is.
Probably.
Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
I don't know. There's some great Speed Racer dub memes.
Yeah.
Old dubs are hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, very much so. Yeah.
Did you guys have any other backups for?
I had one
for Getaway Driver. Yeah.
I had Celty Sturluson. But part of the reason I didn't, the girl with the drives a motorcycle and has the helmet
the
from Duelahan from Durarara. But they kind of mostly drive a motorcycle, and I'm like, you're really going to hop on a motorcycle? But can she drive a car? I don't even know.
I was kind of thinking the same thing.
Stack on top.
Yeah. That's where I went with it, though. But I really, when I remembered Char Aznable, I was like, oh, that's that's where I'm going. That's where I really
Mike and
feel.
I had a lot of like overlap because I did think about Char for it too, but then I was like, no, I gotta go with mommy. Yeah. Jay, did you have a backup?
Speed Racer.
Speed Racer was your backup.
Was my one backup.
Okay. All right.
I was like half expecting Mike to take Otakawa, so I was like, I gotta think of something.
Oh, yeah. Okay. You know what? I actually almost did too. So that was good intuition by you.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Was there any other ones that were almost on the list that didn't make the cut?
For like all of your guys here?
Yeah, just in general. Like anybody else that you kind of thought about that didn't.
Yeah, there's a few.
Throwing aside.
Yeah. I did reach out to the Discord to see if other people had ideas as well.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys want me to read out some of those.
I would love it. I didn't even know that you did this.
Yeah, I kind of just like put the roster that we wanted in the Discord and just kind of like said, hey, who would you put for these roles? Let's hear what you guys had to say. So the first respondent was Trey Walsh.
Okay.
And for their organizer, they picked Kamina from Gurren Lagann.
Yeah, I can see that.
That checks out. That's a good pick, I think.
That checks out.
Yeah. Especially, like if he dies, then
he's expendable.
Yeah, he's expendable. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be a good twist. Is the leader dies?
The leader
they got to figure out. They got to figure out how to band together now that the leader's gone.
I got my backup. I got C2. I'm good to go.
Yeah.
Yep. For their getaway driver, they had Kuranosuke Momiyama from the Rolling Girls. You guys know who that is?
I'm unfamiliar.
No. And then for their muscle, they had Lad Russo from Bakano.
That checks out.
We tried to watch Bakano, didn't work out, but.
And then I'd say that checks out.
Does it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then for their distraction, I actually almost put this person as a distraction. I forgot about this, but for their distraction, Trey Walsh put Tengen Uzui. What did I just say there? Tengen Uzui from Demon Slayer, the flashiest Hashira.
Yeah, he's very flashy. He'd be a good distraction and also capable. Yeah, that's a good pick. I like that one. Yeah,
I agree. And then for tech support, they put QT from Space Dandy. Haven't seen Space Dandy, so I can't comment on that one.
Neither have I.
R2-D2 from Star Wars.
Okay, and then Sosuke Mitsuba put their leader / organizer as Mao Mao from Apothecary Diaries, and they were nice enough to put like little comments in here because she would know how to make smoke bombs with paralyzing effects.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
All right.
I feel like that's kind of techie a little bit, but
Mao Mao's great.
Mao Mao's great. Yeah. More Mao Mao is never a bad thing. Yeah. Getaway driver Gojo Satoru from Jujutsu Kaisen. I trust no other man to drive. I thought of Gojo too here.
Huh.
And then I thought I've never seen him drive.
Yeah,
but I trust him to drive in a weird way.
I don't.
No,
neither do I.
No, he's gonna like wrap the car around a telephone pole. Like he's gonna hit a telephone pole so hard that he's gonna like split the car in twine.
Yeah,
split it in
twine. I like it. For muscle, Rimuru Tempest from Slime Isekai there. I mean, the dude person, I guess, can just eat the safe and store it or break any wall in the way. Valid.
Sure.
Yeah.
I probably would have put Rimuru more as a leader type.
Yeah, I kind of see what you're saying there.
Yeah.
They're kind of more of a organizer. That's kind of their role in the show, right?
Yeah.
But they are very strong as well.
Of course. Yeah.
Distraction, Anya from Spy Family. I mean, she's adorable. How could you not get distracted by her? Was the comment on that one valid?
And distraction, yeah.
She's basically mini Chika Fujiwara, and we covered why Chika would be a good distraction. And at the same time,
I think she'd also be like a good way to like communicate with the team because like she'd be reading minds and like kind of be like, oh, they're thinking this. The distraction's working. Move kind of thing.
Yeah,
that's actually a sneaky good pick.
I like that pick. Yeah.
And then last one is the tech support, which I'm really surprised none of us put this person here, especially Jay, but Ishigami from Kaguya-sama.
I thought about them.
I did too. Yeah.
I did actually. They crossed my mind. Honestly, I'm just going to be honest. Like sorry, I'm kind of going off on a tangent. This has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
That's okay.
I almost went with the whole team from Ghost in the Shell as my team.
It's funny that you say that because the next response all comes from Fruits Basket.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
I almost went with the whole Ghost in the Shell team because like they're all tech support essentially, and like they're basic. That's basically the team. Is basically like a heist team that's also good at combat. But yeah, no, yeah. I'm sorry. This is just how my brain works, people.
No, that's okay. I understand. Sometimes you just need to like get it out, right?
I just had to. Had to get it out. Yeah. Okay.
Mog sent in an all fruits basket team with Shigure as the leader because he's smart and sneaky. Okay. Hattori as the driver. Hattori, I think, is the doctor, right?
I'm unfamiliar with the names.
The names mix me up too. Dark Haru, I know, is the muscle, and that's a good pick.
Okay.
That's the cow guy.
Yeah.
Momoji is the distraction. That's the rabbit.
Yeah.
Little
blonde
be a good
guy. Distraction. Yeah.
Wonderful distraction. I agree.
Yeah.
And Kurano as the tech. Actually, Kurano is the doctor. So which one's Hattori?
Hattori. There's
running a blank here. Just no way to know. Kurano as the tech makes sense because they actually specified. He's one of the few we see use a computer, and I like him. I mean, that's a great argument in my opinion.
Hattori's the doctor.
Oh, Hattori's the doctor. Yeah. Okay. Who's the other one? Who's the other one?
Kurano.
Kurano.
This is
Fruits Basket.
He's the rooster one.
The rooster, yeah.
Which one's the rooster?
The like assistant of the head of the family.
Oh,
hold on. Let me read the very descriptive AniList description for him.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Kurano is a quiet, obedient man.
He is.
That's accurate. He really doesn't play much role in the story until the very end.
He does. He's integral to...
He is integral.
He is a quiet, obedient man, and you will respect his name.
He is integral to Akito's growth as a person.
I'm not disagreeing with you, Cole.
Did you even watch Fruits Basket?
I
know you did. I know you did.
I love
Your
Fruits
wife
Basket.
Loves Fruits Basket.
And Mog loves Fruits Basket. And then we have
Fruits Basket.
We have one more.
Okay.
Maxi just made it in here. They were literally typing and I responded, please hurry. As I see, Kratos is also typing now. Oh no. Their leader.
He's got to get it in.
Their leader get it in. We're not going to, we don't really have much time.
Is Lloyd Forger.
Yeah. Okay. I'm a little concerned about Lloyd Forger because he's kind of like a lone wolf.
Yeah.
I thought of him for multiple roles on this too.
I did too. I think like he does have his like teamwork thing. Like he did that tennis match with Fiona. So like
totally.
He does. He does have history of like working together. He also works for an agency, so like that's a thing. I don't know.
He'd be my first pick for like the Tom Cruise Mission Impossible style, the heist, like one man.
Yeah. He's kind of a one man army. Like he's able to do pretty well any of these roles. I feel. Yeah.
Who else is on the team?
Getaway Driver, David Martinez. Kind of a weird pick, but I'm kind of here for it actually.
Yeah,
I see it.
He seems like a fast boy.
Yeah. The muscle. We have Beatrice from ReZero. I like it, going with like the super strong lolly.
Yeah,
as your muscle.
Interesting. Rem would have been a good.
Good
I feel like a lot of people from ReZero would have been good for muscle.
Yeah. Rem though would have been the best because she's the best girl. Keep going.
Okay, the distraction, Cole, someone that you're quite familiar with here, is Bochi from Bochi the Rock. Bocher herself.
That's a tough one. Distraction would have been, like, my distraction from that show would have been Kita.
I feel like Bochi would have been too shy to even enter the bank. Yeah.
She'd go in and then she'd just, like, stand there and go, and then, like, be...
Or she'd, like, walk up to the door and not even open it and then just, like, walk back to the car.
No, she'd walk in, but then, like, nobody would look at her. Kita, I think, would have been my pick because she's so we all know Kita. She's
And then Kratos says they can't get it in fast enough. I'm sorry, Kratos.
We are sorry, Kratos.
Yeah.
Kratos.
Last
give me that meat bun and I'll say your name right.
Last one is tech support is Kurumi from Licorice Recoil. I almost thought about putting multiple Licorice Recoil characters in this. I feel like they're all kind of heist friendly.
Yeah, they'd be heist friendly. We wouldn't want to just like focus on one show, but that is a good pick. I like that pick.
Yeah.
That's a low key winner pick right there.
Yeah. And to give Mexi some credit, I kind of rushed him a little bit and they said that the distraction was the hardest one for them to come up with, which it kind of is. Yeah. I get that.
Yeah. The distraction is kind of the wild card.
It's funny though. I thought that the tech guy was the hard one for me.
I had a tough time with tech. There was a few where I was like, I got it.
Yeah.
But my hardest one was for sure Getaway Driver.
It's weird though, just like Zoro and Lelouch were the two that I was like, lock it in. We're good. And then the rest I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
My Getaway Driver was a lock. And then when I thought of Legend of the Galactic Heroes, I'm like, oh, I got my leader. Yeah. But of course, I mean, this wouldn't be worth it if we didn't ask the listeners to tell us who had the best team out of the three of us.
Yep.
Yeah.
So comment below or talk to us in Discord, whatever.
I think it would probably be the poll on Spotify too.
Poll on Spotify. Yeah.
Cole has no idea how those things work. We just,
listen, I'm here. I just show up. Listen, I just show up, I record, and that's it. Then I don't talk to you guys for a week because I'm a diva.
I haven't spoken to you guys since the watch party last week.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
I've kind of been locked in my room playing Persona.
Well,
yes. I mean that's partially self-inflicted.
Yeah, a little bit. This is kind of on you.
Yeah, let's turn it around.
Oh yeah, it is on me.
This is your fault.
I did a good job. I you know what? That was great of me. I locked myself in my room and didn't have to talk to anyone. I just had to play Persona.
Yeah. To be fair, like you got the game and then I think like the next day I asked you how many hours you'd put into it and it was like almost the amount of time that had elapsed since the game released. And I'm like,
do you sleep?
Yeah. What? How did you do that?
No, I don't sleep or eat. I photosynthesize.
I filter feed.
Yeah.
I don't think I even ate that day.
Hey man, when you get in like an ultra game session, I often forget to drink water.
The one that always gets me is when you forget to blink because you're playing like a more action heavy game and you're just like, and then you put the controller down after a bit and your eyes are just burning.
Yeah,
you're like,
I'll get up.
It's like, oh god, my eyes are so dry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get up after like 5 hours and realize I've turned into a raisin. That's usually what happens.
California raisin.
Yeah. Anyway, this is another
riveting episode.
Actually, this was a good episode. I like this episode.
This was fun. I always love these make a team episodes. They're fun.
Yeah, they're fun. Yeah. Thanks for listening to another episode of the Anime Protagonist Podcast. Leave a like, review, subscribe, give us 5 stars, tell a friend about us. We're on social media at AniProPod. We also have a website, AniProPod.com. Links to everything's on there, including our Discord. Over on the Discord, we got watch parties, games, chats, all that fun stuff. It's also the place to talk to us and talk to other listeners. It's fun. It's fun over on the Discord. If you really like us and you want to support us, you can also do so on Patreon. You get an early episode. You get a bonus episode every month, extra votes, special chats, priority mailbags. And you'll just get your name read by me every week, which I am going to do right now. Mr. Family Guy 36, Elijah Wood, Brain Dead B-Dog, Super Mexi, Peach, Frama, Kratos, Just Juzz, and Mogmog?
Mogmog.
Oh, Mogmog's on here.
Mogmog taking a lot of shade in this episode. I don't like it.
I don't like it either. I feel bad. Yeah. They're the most recent patron. I mean, give me a break. Give me a break, okay? Listen, I got a lot on my plate. I'm putting together heist teams.
That's right. Yeah. I wanted to read one. We got an new Apple podcast review as well. I wanted to quickly read. I've been forgetting for a little while.
Yes.
It's Wayne Brady Bish. And the review
I love Bish.
Yeah. Very entertaining. I enjoy this a lot. Thank you. It's Wayne Brady Bish. We enjoy you a lot.
Yes, thank you so much. I love that review. Very short, concise, to the point.
To the point. Yeah. 5 stars.
I like it. Yeah. 5 stars. We love it.
5 stars.
Keep a 5-star reviews
5 stars
coming.
and we will read them.
We've got reviews coming up as well. I believe is next week. Yeah, next week is our Gate review.
Gate.
Then our listeners. Did we announce the winner for Listener's Choice?
We have not.
We should do that.
Well, we should do that right now. I certainly hope you're still listening.
I did the calculations as well.
Okay. Mike did the calculations. Do you have the calculations, Mike?
No, I didn't need to.
I don't think we need CodyBot this time.
No,
we don't need CodyBot because literally the same anime won on every single platform.
And listen, the same anime won on every single platform because there was a grassroots movement in that started at a watch party
Yeah.
Come to our watch parties because stuff's happening at our watch parties. There's a grassroots movement started there for our winner of the listener's choice, which is
Link Click. Yeah, we will be watching Link Click after Gate. Yes.
After Gate. Yeah. So look forward to that. And obviously now we've got a manga review coming up in Yu-Gi-Oh. Now, Jay, why don't you wrap this up?
All right. Do you have any wrapping paper, Cole?
I do. You can have it when you've finished the show.
Well, how am I going to wrap it up without wrapping paper?
Finish the show, and then I'll give you your wrapping paper up your butt.
But I need it to wrap it up.
Finish the show.
Well, without further ado, as we say at the end of every episode of the Anime Protagonist podcast, bye-bye.
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 Bye-bye.